recording. Okay, welcome to Information and Communication Technology subject, grade 11. And first of all, I would like to discuss what topics you are supposed to learn throughout this year. Since you have covered a lot of topics in grade 10, this is a continuation of what we have discussed so far. The very first lesson or very first topic is on programming. Now, when you say programming, in grade 10, we use how to use application software like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on. So if you're wondering how these software developed, we are going to, learn to develop very simple programs. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් පොතල දන්නවා ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් software එකක් download කරලා install කරන්න දන්නවා. එතකොට අපි දැනගන්න යනවා කොහොමද එහෙම software එකක් අපි විසින් නිර්මාණය කරන්න කියලා. So the main task is we discuss how to develop a small program, right? So that is the first topic. And I think this is one of the difficult topics in ICT, but I'll make sure that, you understand everything from A to Z, right? Once we finish the programming part, a little bit more about the programming, what we do, we learn how to design algorithms. Algorithm means for a given problem, we will learn how to come up with a solution, and then we'll learn how to convert into a software by using Pascal, right? And then we will compile and we'll create exe file. And after that, in the second topic, we look at in a very large level, system development life cycle means how these information systems are developed. We look at the steps. The meaning of this is now, for example, if you take healthcare information system, now some of the hospitals are computerized, even in Sri Lanka. So which means everything from the admission to diagnosis and till the discharge, everything is now computerized systems. So we will learn how such a system is developed. ඒ කියන්නේ දැනට තියෙන ඔය software එහෙම අපි hospital එකක් ගත්තොත් ඒ hospital එකේ තියෙන හැමදේම වෙන හැටි විදිහට හදලා තියෙන මේ අපි කියනවා පද්ධති කියලා. ඒ වගේ පරිගණක පද්ධතිය නිර්මාණය වෙන steps ගැන කතා කරනවා. So we were looking at basically what are the steps involved in developing such a system. Now, when you say developing such a system, first of all, we need to gather what requirements, right? In hospital, for example, we want to register patient details. So we discuss, how do you get that details? What exactly you are going to store? In databases, we briefly discuss, but exact same thing we will look at here. And there are many techniques that how you should develop an information system. So that is the second topic that we are going to discuss in grade 11. Third one is actually you already know with this pandemic situation. Now you are very familiar with the software tools. So we discuss how internet and electronic mails could be used, and what infrastructure you need to set up an internet, what are the benefits, what are the issues. So all these things we will discuss under this topic. And then we will have electronic mail, email. I hope most of you have emails with you now. And we discuss the basics of electronic mail, what are the parts of email address, and how should you write an email, reply, make attachments, everything we will discuss under the internet and the electronic mail. That is the third topic. Fourth one, we look at use of multimedia information. We learn how to create images. Now, for example, nowadays you'll be receiving a lot of graphical messages from me. So there are a lot of graphical tools are there, right? Even I shared the digital calendar with you. Everything we design using different piece of software. So we look at how we can develop such things with the piece of software. Then secondly, we discuss creating animations. So animations are quite popular, and then there are tools where we can actually develop animations. And then video editing, we will also look at how to create a video by combining pictures, videos, sounds, and so on. And finally, we discuss how to edit sound files. So that is basically we will look at how to use multimedia content. And the next one is web designing using multimedia, which means we discuss how to come up with a web page. Now, for example, if you're wondering how I developed the web page for the class, I have actually used plain HTML, and it's a very simple interface. So you look at how exactly this could be done, right? So this is the second programming language we will learn. So we'll start with Pascal, and then we will look at HTML. There's a language called HTML. It's a scripting language, but that is the second programming language you are going to learn, right? So we will look at how to create websites, how to include, images, how to click and, connect to some other page. So everything we are going to discuss, right? And final topic is we are going to summarize on information and communication technology. What are the benefits? What are the issues? How it is affected the society in general? Now things have changed over the years. So during the past year, lot of improvements. Now usually our parents were not giving digital equipment to students, but now we are very comfortable, isn't it? So we know how to have video conference sessions, Zoom sessions. We know finding information on the internet. So this is like positive effects. I think although corona affected our lives, I think the most benefit part, at least at the Sri Lanka perspective, that children get exposed to these technologies. Otherwise, usually our traditional parents, they would not allow you to access computer, mobile, and so on. Now that is a positive sides of it, and then there are some negative sides. Now I have seen some of your performance are really low because concentration is not like that in a physical setting. Now physical setting, I know what you guys were doing right now, right? So some may be on the bed, right, in a sleepy mode. Right now I don't know because I didn't ask you to switch on video, but I could, right? Isn't it? So in the last topic we will discuss, there are a lot of issues, especially addictions to the computers, to the internet and the games. One of the disadvantages I have seen over the last couple of years with the effect of corona is, many kids addicted to computer games, right? They are in a fantasy world, right? Imagine, but creativity has gone. So remember that always information communication technology can affect both positive and negative, and it's up to you. So you should decide, and you should decide what you should access, what should you, do with your computers. පොතාලගේ අතේ තමයි තියෙන්නේ. මේ පිහියක් ගත්තා වගේ තමයි. හොඳ දෙයට පාවිච්චි කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. නරක දෙයට පාවිච්චි කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. So you better think about this. But this is a good tool, like online classes, online teaching. I think it saves a lot of time and also cost, right? And then you are leisure, you are at home, sometimes you are on your place in a relaxed mood, not like in very traditional way. I think one of the way that is better, right? So these are the 6 topics that you are supposed to learn in grade level, right? Anything that you want to know about these topics? පොතලට මොනවා හරි මේ ඉගෙන ගන්න යන topics ගැන දැනගන්න මොනවා හරි තියෙනවද? Right. Imash asked, what is the most difficult lesson? My opinion and what I have seen is the programming is the most difficult topic out of all these topics. Others are quite easy, I guess. System development cycle, usually I spend about like 2 weeks done. Internet and electronic, this is not difficult. I think most difficult part comes with the programming, and this is also not difficult. Website designing, since we cover all the theory, I don't think it be a very difficult one. So the only difficult topic I see in grade 11 as the programming part. Right. Right. So I'm going to have a small discussion session, right? Let me let me share this. So in this one, let me share this first of all. Give me a second. So the first question that I would like to raise with you, learn in ICT. So we have 6 topics: the programming, information systems, the system life cycle, DLC, we normally say. Third one, we have internet and email, right? Then multimedia, right? Then web design, and finally ICT and society, right? And the second thing I would like to know, right, this is anonymous. What? I think, yeah. So I'm going to share a small thing. I'm going to share the screen now. I want you to go to menti.com, use this code, right? And then I want you to vote for the 6 topics. Which one you are most excited to learn? I would like to see your preference first. By the way, this might be disconnect within 1 minute's time, reconnect using the same link. So the topic, take down the topic programming, and under that, write down the subtopic solving problems using computers. Solving problems using computers. Once you are finished writing down, please raise your hands. You can just indicate, and then I can continue. So the main topic for the lesson is programming. So under the programming, let's take down the subtopic solving problems using computers. Right. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So in this one, we will look at how to solve problem using computers. That means basically programming means we are giving a solution using computer programs. Right. Now let's say something like this. So you want to find out the electricity bill. Right. Electricity bill එක ඕගොල්ලන්ට හම්බෙනවනේ. ඒකක ගාණ තියෙනවා. මිල තියෙන සමහරට අපි දන්නේ මේක හරිද වැරදිද කියලා. So if you want to check that, so it's a problem, right? You are getting a bill, we don't know. Sometimes you get very high electricity bill. You don't know whether this is correct. So you can come up with a software solution. You can develop a piece of program which will give you input the number of units and you will get the electricity bill. Right? Simple as that. Right. Now, when you want to solve problem using computers, there are few steps. Right. So let's take down those steps then. Right. There are several steps when solving problems using computers. Let's write down. There are several steps when solving problems using computers. So only take down this one. I will go one at a time. There are several steps when solving problems using computers. First one under this. Let's write down only this first one. Problem analysis. Don't take down everything. First one, you put one. First one is problem analysis. So the problem analysis means in this step, we will identify what are the inputs, what are the output, and what are the processors, right? I will type problem analysis. Now, I told you about the electricity bill. So we know input is number of units. We know the output is either electricity bill. So how do you know the given input? How do you get the output? We need to identify the process. We know that if you use first 30 units, you have to pay that much, and between 30 to 60, another amount, and so on. The electricity bill එක හොයනකොට අපි දන්නවා number of units. Unit ගාන තමයි දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒතර අපිට bill එක ලැබෙනවා ඒක output එක. ඒතකොට unit ගාන දන්නවා නම් කොහොමද අපි, right, how are we going to get the bill? පළවෙනි unit 30ට මෙච්චරයි, 30යි 60යි නම් මෙහෙමයි, අන්න ඒ විදිහට අපිට තියෙනවා. Right? So let's take down. So in this step, right? Input, output, and process are identified for a given problem. Right? So we are going to get input, output, and process are identified for a given problem. So that is what we call problem analysis. Right, a quick question. Now let's say I want to find out area of a rectangle. Yes. Can someone in the class, can you tell me what are the inputs? අපිට ඕනේ ඍජු කෝණාශ්‍රක වර්ගඵලය හොයන්න. මගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි මොනවද ආදාන input, මොනවද ප්‍රතිදාන output, and then how do you get from input to the output? That is what we call process. Exactly. Imaji said length and the breadth. That is the input. Good. What is the output? Devni also said. Neha also said. The output is, yes, area of a rectangle, isn't it? The input is length and the breadth. Yeah, that's okay. And the output is area of a rectangle. So what is the process? Given length and breadth, how to get the area? Given length and breadth, how do you get the area? Yes, you need to multiply. Neha, what do you want to multiply? You have to multiply what?
Multiplication.
Yes, length and the breadth together. So
Breadth.
that is we call process. Good. Now, if I say making a cake, so what are the inputs? Girls, you have ingredients, right? So that will be the input. Then, what is the output? That is the cake.
Cake.
Yeah. What is the process? You have recipe, right? You know ingredients, you know what to do, you have set of steps you need to follow, right? So that's the process, right? So that's the first one. Now, once you identify this input, output, and the process, the second one we call you build an algorithm. Let's take down. The step 2 is building an algorithm. Okay. Hmm? So build an algorithm means step-by-step procedure solve problem, like a recipe. Now I told you like making a cake. So you have ingredients and your output is the cake. There's a steps. And remember, if you mix the steps, if I hope the ladies know what will happen. You might not get a cake, right? Isn't it? So you have to follow some steps. So these steps for a solution is known as an algorithm, right? I'll come more in detail later on. So this set of steps which will solve the problem is we call algorithm. And usually this is the most difficult part, right? මොකක් හරි පියවරෙන් පියවර මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයකට විසඳුම කියන එකට තමයි අපි ඇල්ගොරිතම් කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒක තමයි අමාරුම කොටස. right? ඒක නිසා අපි ඇත්තටම මේ at your level we learn flow charts and pseudocodes. අපි ගැලීම් සටහන් තියෙන ව්‍යාජකේත කියලා තියෙන මෙන්න මේ දෙකම අපි පාවිච්චි කරන පොතේ මේ ඇල්ගොරිතම් ගොඩනැගීම සඳහා. right? So let's write down an algorithm. An algorithm is step by step algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. In this step, identify required steps to solve the given problem and order them accordingly. Right? So building an algorithm is a procedure which we use to solve a problem. Right? So algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. So in this step, identify required steps to solve the given problem and order them accordingly. Right. If you finish writing, please let me know. I told you to raise your hands. So I know that you have finished. Okay, good. Thanks. You can lower the hands. Let's move to the third one. So the third one is you convert algorithm to a program. Steps ටික identify කරගත්තට පස්සේ අපි මේක convert කරන්න ඕන. Steps ටික identify කරගත්ත. So we will learn some different programming languages. There are a lot of programming languages are there like Python, Pascal, right? JavaScript and so on. So we need to convert these algorithms, the steps into a code. So the third step we known as convert the algorithm to a program, right? So let's take down convert the algorithm to a program. write down under this. First of all, let's write down what is a program is. A program is a sequence of instructions. Okay, simple idea. The algorithm is converted into a program by using a suitable programming language. This process, known as coding, and the person who is involved in this and the person who is involved in this is known as a coder or a programmer, right? So you can say program is a sequence of instruction. The algorithm is converted into program by using suitable programming language. Okay, I told you there are many programming languages like Pascal, Python, C, C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, and so on. So the process of converting algorithms to programs we call coding. And there's a person who is involved in this transformation is known as programmers, or nowadays we call even software engineers. Right. Okay. Now, once you develop the program, there are a lot of errors. You make mistakes, isn't it? When you type mistakes, it will generate errors. So the next step is, right, you identify the errors. Again, once you finish typing this, write down this, please raise your hands, then only I know you have completed. Right, thanks everyone. So I hope now you know the third step. You identify input, output, and process. You build the solution. Now you wrote the program. So let's move on to the next one. Right, that's the fourth one. Okay, so let's write down fourth one. What is the fourth one? Identify errors in a program and correct them. Identify errors and then we are going to correct it. Okay, so that's the fourth step. Errors in a computer program are known as bugs. Right? Errors in a computer program are known as bugs. bugs කියන කුරුමිනිය වගේ. මේක ඇත්තටම ඉතිහාස කතාව ඔයගොල්ලෝ හොයලා බලුවොත් ඇයි මේ බග් කියන්නේ කියලා මුල්ම කාලේ කම්පියුටර් වැඩ නොකරද හොයලා බලද්දී ඒක හිටියලු බග් පොඩි මැසෙක්. හරි? ඒක තමයි හේතුනේ ඇත්තටම. Right? So we said errors in a computer program known as bugs, and identifying them and correcting them is known as errors in a computer program are known as bugs, and identify them and correcting them is known as debugging. Prepared a set of inputs and relevant outputs. We call this as a test data, are used to verify the inputs and the outputs. Prepare a set of inputs and relevant output. Test data are used to verify the input and output. This is known as testing. This is known as testing. Okay, please. The fifth one, running the program, and last topic, corrected program can be run by providing real inputs and getting the output. This is known as execution, where computer performs the instructions of the program. Now, from the previous step, we learn, we identify any errors and we correct them. So that means once you correct them, you can run by providing real inputs, the real values. So this is known as executing, where computer perform the instruction of the program.